Hey all, my name is Kurt and I'm here with this fella, Trenton. Well, welcome to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar, and today, Trenton, I'm just showing up because you told me I've got Wednesday's show covered.
I have everything figured out. I know that's hard to believe. I usually don't, but it's fine.
You say you do all the time.
We're gonna wing it today, and like we always do, and hopefully it turns out all right. So, you kind of glanced at these. I know you poured them.
Yes.
But these are new releases coming out of Jack Daniels. They were nice enough to send us the American Single Malt Special Release that came out last year.
I remember that.
I was a huge fan of that. I know that you were too.
Yeah, I liked it quite a bit, and you loved it.
I loved it, yeah. Especially for an American Single Malt kind of shocker.
Yeah.
But I guess they trusted us enough to send us more samples of stuff that they have coming out this year. And
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We figured we'd give them a review. I think they just... when this video is coming out Wednesday, they had just released them yesterday. So this is being released on a Tuesday. Their press release for the announcement of these bad boys.
Oh, wow, okay.
So on the right here, we have the 10-year, Jack Daniels 10-year. This is actually batch 2. They had a 10-year come out in 2021. Around, I think, July, August sometime.
Because my mind immediately went to that, and I do remember one out there, but that was 2021.
Yeah, all right. And I was actually lucky enough to find one at a liquor store for, I think, $70 or $80, which is around MSRP for that.
Yeah, I knew you had one.
Yeah. I don't know what MSRP is going to be for either of these.
Okay.
I'll just say that now.
All right.
But something that Jack Daniels has kind of done, which I found interesting, is that a lot of their special releases are 700 ml. They're not doing 750. So I also don't know if these are planning to be released at 700 ml. They just kind of done that to streamline their bottling process for the Eastern market and that kind of thing.
For the international market.
International market, yeah.
And I know this may surprise you, but I had an idea what you're bringing over, and I did just that much research on it, and yes, it is coming out in 700 ml.
Well, look at that. All right.
I also know the mash bill. You want to know the mash bill?
Yeah, I don't know the mash bill.
I mean, this is what I found for the 12-year. Of course, the 10-year is the 10-year, and I'm sure it's the same. This is just batch 2. But what I found for the 12-year, 80% corn, you ready for this? 12% malted barley and 8% rye.
Really? I would have thought it would have been the other way around.
I don't know if we have ever tasted a bourbon with that sort of mash bill. Do you remember anything like that? I mean, I don't remember what happened a couple days ago, so... That's an oddball mash bill. So I'm very curious to get into this. To be honest with you,
I gotta stop you right there.
Yeah,
we're gonna get comments, and I can't read these.
Yeah,
not technically a bourbon, just because they're charcoal filtering process that they do.
Well, okay.
I don't want people to get mad at you.
That's okay. Yeah, that's an age old argument that I don't care to get into. If you think it's a bourbon, I'm happy for you. If you think it's a whiskey, Tennessee whiskey, I'm happy for you as well. So
whatever the case. It'll be interesting to try out.
Yeah,
and then this is the first year that they're coming out with a 12-year product. I know nothing about that other than it sounds like it's coming out in 700 ml. I don't know what the MSRP is, but this is 90 proof, I think, the 10-year, 97 proof, and the 12-year is 107.
I saw that too.
And I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Because the batch 1 of the 10-year I tried, I didn't dislike it. But, Jack Daniels has that charcoal flavoring that you get from it. Right. It's not always my bag. I do prefer the barrel-proof single barrels quite a bit. I love those. Sure. I think it kind of dies down that charcoaling process.
I agree.
So I'm interested to see how this, the proof elevation on this kind of interacts with that. It's not in the 120s, but it's also not in the 90s.
That's a great point.
So we'll kind of see how that goes.
Yeah. I
don't know which way you poured these.
Well, I poured them up. I have glass on the right would be your 10-year.
Okay.
And the glass on the left would be the 12-year. I'm assuming you'd want to start with the glass on the right since we'll start with the lesser proof.
Yeah.
We'll work our way to the 12-year.
Sure.
So let's see what we got in the first glass here.
Thank you to Hillary over at Jack Daniels for sending these samples.
Yes,
they were.
Thank you.
They invited us and a couple other folks to go on to like a live virtual tasting with their master distiller and stuff, but we were in Colorado doing our picks at Old Elk, so we weren't able to make it. But
okay, well, thanks for that invite. Though.
Hopefully next time we're able to kind of join and give our thoughts on it.
I have to say, I pick up a little bit of that charcoal on the nose, but I really like the nose on this one, on the 10-year. I really do.
It's interesting because a lot of times in Jack Daniels, I will get a banana note. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Old Forester is kind of renowned or very well known for that banana note. Sure. But for me, it creeps into the Jack Daniels a little bit. And I really like it.
Yeah, but past that, Trenton, I come up with some maple syrup even.
Really?
Yeah, on the nose. And the nosing isn't my strong suit, as you know, but this one seems pretty profound, and I'm able to pick it up.
Yeah.
It's a nice, rich nose.
Yeah.
It is.
And I'll say I do apologize. I don't know if batch 1 is also 97 proof. Did you happen to catch that?
I apologize, I do not.
So I can put it up on the screen afterwards if I remember. A lot of times I don't. So
I think you will.
As I went into the nose, I did get that charcoal that you were talking about. Maybe also a little bit of the little bit of that maple syrup. Okay. I'll let you chat, but I gotta go in for it.
That's all right. All right, let me just put this out there. I'm not a huge Jack Daniels fan. As Trent mentioned, I do love the Jack Daniels Barrel Proof, but there's not a whole lot of other offerings in the Jack Daniels family that I'm a big fan of. There's a lot of them that I think are fine. I don't hate any of them, but I like this.
Yeah,
I do. I think it's pretty solid stuff, Trenton.
For me, it has a little bit of a drying aspect to it. Like I can feel the full fuzz on my tongue or whatever right now that I didn't before this. Mm-hmm. But I think that sweetness of the maple or whatever you were kind of talking about before does transfer nicely to the palate.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It almost, I don't want to say fully eliminates for me. I still get a little bit of that
little bit
the flavors of that charcoal mellowing process.
Yeah.
But the sweetness kind of shoves that aside, and it's not full front like it usually is with like the number 7 or 94 Select or that kind of thing.
No, and I don't know what kind of notes you're getting, but I do get that maple syrup a little bit on on the palate. I'm also getting I'm trying to think almost like a bitter chocolate, not bitter, but some form of a chocolate note on there too. I'm getting a little bit. Not brown sugar, maybe a burnt brown sugar.
I was going to say that.
Were you?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay,
I wasn't going to say the brown. I was going to say like a burnt sugar because there is a.
And I can. Yeah, it's not like a normal brown sugar that I would get in some bourbons, but yes, definitely a burnt side of the sugars.
Almost like if you took one of those butane things and just like torched some brown sugar on a dessert or something. Mm-hmm. Really, actually, kind of nice. I will say. Hillary, thank you again. Batch 1, I honestly was not a huge fan of. I thought that it was pretty bitter. It wasn't lending a ton of other flavors to that.
Okay.
So I will say when I heard that they were coming out with another 10-year, I was like, ooh, that might not be my bag. This is leaps and bounds better than the first batch. I'll say that.
Okay, well let me say I don't even remember the first batch, and I know I've had
brought that over.
That's okay. One of my point is I know I had a taste of it. Mm-hmm. So for me not to even remember it. To me, it didn't make much of an impression.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
This one will, because this one's pretty good. It's pretty darn good, and I will definitely remember the sip of batch 2.
Yeah.
On the 10-year. So in my mind, it has to be better than the first one because I really don't have any recollection of the first batch.
And as it sat open, now that I tasted it again, I do get a little bit of that burnt oak, like that charred oak. Mm-hmm. And I do got to say, I actually really like this one. Way better for me than batch number 1 of the 10-year. So
I like it a lot too. Let's move over into this 12-year. This is exciting.
I'm excited for this one.
I know this is 107 proof. I mean, we're kind of amped up about it, so I'm hoping it follows suit.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Wow, that's
see,
that's so different. I mean, it's kind of follows suit with this one, but. But it doesn't.
This is like a nice red apple.
Path.
Like a nice red apple or a
yeah, definitely.
Plummy or something.
There's some kind of a rich fruit in there for sure.
Raisin? Something?
Maybe, possibly. And I was even going to say like a mocha note of some sort on the nose, Mr. Bourbon Sommelier.
Well, I don't want to brag.
Yeah.
This isn't a bourbon.
I know you don't.
No, I'm actually not very good at this. But
okay.
Mocha, I'd have to search for it. There's something that
I'm going to keep working on it, but there's something in there other than what you've just described.
All right,
marshmallowy, kind of marshmallow.
It's almost like that. Like if you heard marshmallow fluff, it's like a chocolate marshmallow fluff a little bit. I could see that.
Okay,
but the chocolate's pretty muted. I think. There's more of the sweetness of the marshmallow or whatever else is
I
full front.
100% agree with that. That's really nice. An inviting nose. Really, really nice stuff.
Okay. They just went and did that, didn't they? I wish that products like the 94 Select and other Jack Daniels products, for some people, that the just quintessential Jack Daniels is enough.
Right.
For me, as somebody who doesn't particularly like the lower proof offerings from Jack Daniels, I wish that they had a core lineup that wasn't just the single barrel proof, that had elevated proof like this guy. Because if this is the same mash bill with a 2-year difference and a proof increase of 10, this does so much for this bottle.
Yeah, and it makes all the difference in the world. You're right there. And for me personally, we differ a little bit in that. You really love cast strength.
Yeah.
120, 130 proof, right?
What they call a proof hound, you know?
You are. Me, I can enjoy that. I can appreciate that. I understand the flavors that are involved in that. But for a sipping experience, for me, my wheelhouse is between 100 and 110. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's my specific wheelhouse. Now, there are others in the 90 proof range and very few that get down to that low 80 that I can truly appreciate. But the 100 to 110, like 100, 108 in that general area is for me. I very rarely come down here to the bar in the basement and pull out a cast strength 128 proof just to sip.
Okay.
Very rarely, Trent.
Interesting.
Very rarely. So that proof point is right up my alley. Right up my alley.
Okay, and then tell me this, because I don't want to irritate a bunch of folks. To me, honestly, that oak on the back kind of reminds me of like a wild turkey oakiness. No? Is the bolt coming a little bit looser as I say that? Or?
No, it doesn't have that wild turkey, vibe, nor should it.
Right.
Nor should it. But there is definitely a lovely oak presence there. Really, really nice oak present. It's not a funky oak. It's not anything like that. It's just a supporting note there in the mix of flavors that is done very, very nicely. I will give you that credit for sure.
Yeah.
That you're right about that. Other than that, the maple syrup flows through for me. I don't find this to be overly sweet.
No.
I found the 10-year to be a little sweeter, per se.
Wonder if that's because of low. Do you think that it's you're getting those sweet notes because of the 80% corn?
Maybe.
I gotta say, this to me is like a home run.
Yeah, but this there is very well balanced.
Yeah.
It gives you depth of flavor.
I like how you said that like the oak like supports the flavors, because I mean, in my opinion, it really does.
Yeah.
There is no imbalance, I think, of any flavors in this. It's a perfectly balanced product, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, let's hope the price point is fair, because that's all we ever ask for as consumers is fair pricing, right? We all like to get a great deal, but at the end of the day, we just want to be dealt with fairly. So let's hope it's a fair price for this, because if it is in that $80 range or something like that, I think it's well worth it. I'm not taking anything away from it either. I think it's a really nice sip and a wonderful effort from Jack Daniels, both of these two.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about pricing that we don't even know yet.
Yeah.
So let's keep that in mind too as well. But I think both of these are very, very good and well done and deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah. This says batch 1. I'm curious to see if next year or the year after we'll see a batch 2.
Yeah.
But if they can elevate a batch 1 like the 10-year, like they did with batch 2, I can only imagine what this will be like.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll see.
We'll have to find out. That's all we got for you today. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate you. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time right down here with Trent and I for another round of Bourbon Madness 2023. See you later.